Hi, this is Travis Estes with Abode Energy Management, here today to speak to you about our heat pump quote comparison tool. Over the last 5 years, Abode has worked extensively with utilities throughout New England, both statewide and local, to implement efficiency programs that support contractors and customers in adopting efficiency and clean energy solutions. Over the last 2 years, throughout these programs, we have conducted over 2,500 customer consultations around heat pumps. These consultations have supported customers in exploring heat pumps specific to their homes, and during that time, we've learned a lot, which we're going to share with you now. We often see customers before getting quotes are a little bit confused. They don't know where to start. They don't know what questions to ask contractors, and they also don't necessarily fully understand the benefits or limitations of heat pumps. As well, they might not really understand the incentive programs that are offered by their local utilities. And these programs are often great in terms of making these technologies even more accessible due to the financial incentives and rebates that the utilities are providing. After getting quotes, we see that customers are consistently pretty confused, given that the quote formats can vary so widely. Some have too much detail, and others don't have enough, which can make the decision-making process pretty challenging, and ultimately leads a lot of customers to look just at the price, which is unfortunate because the price doesn't always take into account the complexity of these systems and whether or not the customer's needs and goals will be met by them. So it's with that in mind that we developed this quote comparison report. The idea here is that we want to make the quotes accessible and easy to understand for customers so they can choose the solution that best meets their needs. The report centers around what is the customer actually getting. We worked closely with behavioral scientists on this one to develop a format and presentation that makes it easy for any customer to really understand exactly what is included within those quotes, as well as the price, both kind of total and price per ton for comparison's sake. From there, we looked at how are these systems going to actually operate in a specific home. Using some proprietary modeling, we are able to evaluate each of these proposals in the context of this home specific and its location, so that we can ensure that the performance, both the HSPF and the SEER, are realistic for what that home should actually experience. We also want to give customers a sense of what is a safe size for those systems, and this is important. We want to make sure that these systems are effective in terms of meeting the whole home's load, and as well ensure that they are not oversized, which can be a problem when we are seeing heat pumps installed. Beyond that, we know that the cost, the operating cost, as well as the environmental benefits are important to many customers. And so we want to give them a clear understanding as to how each of these systems compare on both of those fronts. The final page here provides a little bit more detail for those customers that want to dig in, as well as for those that might be working with community coaches. This information can be helpful in terms of just giving a little bit more context as to how the outputs at the first 2 pages were arrived at. The customer journey is pretty straightforward. It begins with a simple landing page and a series of questions that allows our heat pump specialist to evaluate the proposals in the context of the goals that the customers actually have, and ultimately giving them the right perspective that they need for the final decision. At the end of the day, customers should find that this apples to apples comparison makes it easier to choose a solution that best meets their needs, and hopefully reinforces or highlights contractors that are doing the right thing as it relates to sizing and design best practices. This should result in better customer experience for those customers, as well as helping that kind of word of mouth experience with heat pumps so that they can be telling their friends and neighbors about how excited they are for the solution they've chosen and how well it works. So I appreciate everybody's time. If you have any questions, my email is here on the screen, and we'd be happy to speak more with you about this new tool that is helping many customers make smart and informed heat pump adoption decisions.